This is a very different movie.
It's called Halloween Kills, and it has to live up to that title. It's a bigger, badder, nastier, crazier version.
40 years ago, a madman escaped from a mental hospital. The boogeyman is coming for you.
This evening, 4 bodies were discovered.
The last movie was Laurie's story. This is the town's story.
Laurie, what do we do?
We fight.
David was really clear that he just wanted to explore the after effects of violence and how it affected Haddonfield.
It really does talk about this sort of mob mentality.
We're gonna hunt him down and we're gonna put an end to this.
This idea of fear, is interesting. Fear as a driver.
There's just nonstop action and blood.
Evil dies tonight!
It's really intense. We had just this beautiful, beautiful reunion.
Run! Go home now! Before he kills us all! When I was in Halloween, I was 8 years old. I didn't know what I was doing until I saw it. Then I was like, what on God's green earth?
It just had to do with finding characters that had been established in Carpenter's original and finding ways to keep them involved in the story.
It just felt so good, all of these people from the original movie coming together again.
41 years is a long stretch of time, isn't it?
Who would have imagined?
Jamie, can I say something? 40 years ago.
Who carried you?
Come on. No, I'm gonna carry you now. It's like, you never hear of this. It's just not done.
Sheriff Brackett.
Marion Chambers.
Here I am, Lindsay, coming to haunt you.
That was in 1978. We shot it in 3 weeks.
Sometimes you just luck into something. It's a young actor, a good part. Brand new filmmaker. Why not?
Now, all these years later, the whole town banding together behind Jamie. We are gonna get him first.
It's Halloween. Everyone's entitled to one good scare.
Michael Myers eviscerates everybody.
I feel at the beginning of the day, I've got so many ideas and shot lists and storyboards and all these great plans. And by the end of the day, I'm just trying to survive.
Marcus, I think it's important that you keep an eye out and look, is he there, is he here? Like, where could he be is important.
We're constantly being challenged by all these other creative voices to see if we can beat things and just elevate it.
For David, his crew on a movie like this is crucial.
All right, picture, here we go.
The core of that crew, it's our first AD, Attila, Michael Simmons, our DP, Ronit, our script supervisor, and David is there and going, this is my vision, this is what I want to get for the day.
We have Tommy Doyle. He smacked the car.
I feel like every set needs an Attila. I've never met an energy like his.
Attila is there to keep this machine that we have moving so smoothly.
So that was great. Let's go back to 1. That's no bueno. Woo! Let's do this!
Mike Simmons wants to make sure the story is being told to the best of their ability.
Whose idea was this, yours or David's?
It was my idea.
Michael is often coming up with shots and saying, well, I think we should be doing this. And it's not like David is saying, like, this is the shot.
Let's check the eye line for the eye camera.
I am so in love with Ronit. I love her so much.
Ronit is making sure continuity is in check.
If you look at her notebook, she's taking notes on every single little thing.
She puts up with no bullshit at all.
It all trickles down from David.
If there's not a movement, a progression to the life, then maybe it should all just start to happen.
A lot of these guys have worked with David for 20 years, I guess, when they went to film school together. And that says a lot.
You don't feel like a puppet or a technician. You're creating to the larger piece of work.
Blood, I like it.
The way that David allows Michael and allows Attila and allows Ronit voice.
He will listen and he will take what fits into his vision.
It's kind of like the best idea wins, and there's really no ego involved.
The entire group of people, actors, director, and crew, made this movie, and none of it you can do without them.
Again, give us 3 in a row.
Get back to kill game!
Now, one very soft.
This is their movie, very much their movie.
Do you get sad when you have to kill cast members off?
Depends on who we're killing. All right, this looks good. Let's do it.
There are so many kills I can't even. You're gonna have to remind me of them.
Action!
Well, when we first started the creative process of murdering people,
Thinking of creative way to murder somebody is never the happiest process. How do you kill somebody thing without feeling like a real asshole?
We're seeing more on-camera deaths and more response to deaths, the aftermath.
Sometimes you want to see a gross-out gore gag and have the audience scream. Other times you want to be very implied and impressionistic about it.
You know, what's a nice kill? What's an interesting kill? What's a unique kill? And then, how do we do it? Can we just see everyone in their approximate positions for now?
Okay, and then open it up a little there with those guys.
What would happen if I said roll sound? We would make a movie. And picture.
The idea is that we've got probably 4 hours of prime inferno, but we only have one house, so if we don't get it, we're fucked.
Is that as crazy as I can go? Whatever they're doing is a waste of time. Let's bring everybody in.
The artistry of the firemen deaths is beautiful.
So, Paul, you'll be right here on this lens.
That close-up shot was so fucking awesome of you emerging in the close. Then I go wide for the boom. A lot of it's going to be in silhouette. It's going to be impressionistic violence.
There's gonna be a blood splurt. Do what you want with that information.
It's definitely a new thing for Michael to be taking down 10, 12 people.
How much of the house will be on flames when that's happening?
All of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a weird night.
It was a stressful day because there was just a lot of pieces adding up.
Longer lens. We're gonna need everyone to bugger off that way.
Like, this house is not going to catch on fire by the time the sun comes up over the horizon. And I turn around, and then I hear a bigger whoosh, and this whole house is like ablaze. The house, within like an hour, hour 10, was down to the ground. And we're all just stepping in muck and blood and body parts. It was hilarious. By the end of the night, everybody was just super pumped.
Cut!
Beautiful.
That is locked! Woo! We are cut!
Phil and Sandra have a house that's near Laurie Strode's. Of course, they are on the path of Michael Myers.
The fuck was that?
We see him get his head smashed here.
He grabs me and he pins me. Boom. Boom. That's fucking perfect.
Hey, Mark.
Call the cops!
Two very intense kills.
Grab your neck with your hand.
He said, hey, man, come on down to North Carolina. It's warm. You'll have fun.
That was amazing.
Oh, I came up with the idea of stabbing her in the neck with the fluorescent light bulb.
You're armed and he's not, and then you don't, and it's a little curious that he's going for the light bulb.
Utilizing things that are in your home or things that you have access to, and then trying to imagine, like, well, what if someone just pulled that fluorescent tube out and jammed this down your throat? It's like, yeah, that would suck.
You know, just make a big old opera out of it.
I was like, that'd be cool, right? And David's like, yeah, that'd be really great. Let's do that. And then when we were doing it, I was like, wow, this is harder than I thought.
It takes precision to pull those gags off.
There's the artistry and then there's the mechanical side of it, which is getting blood to plump through and flow and explode the way you want it, the texture of the blood, etc.
So we had this, you know, full prosthetic appliance with bladders underneath it and fluorescent light bulbs out of plastic that retracted, that had a little gun shooting thing in it.
Just a slight bit lower. Go lower.
Now we're gonna do a countdown, and that is the cue for the actual stab and for your blood gag. Roll sound. Roll. Stab.
There's a pretty amazing sequence at a playground. Sure to be very bloody.
Hey, Mark.
What the hell is that?
It's Michael.
When I first heard the idea that David wanted to bring back Nurse Marion, I was like, yeah, that's natural. We should just do that.
Hey, Michael! This is for Dr. Loomis.
She gets stabbed to death. Over and over and over and over.
Cut.
One more time.
3, 2, 1, bang! That was great.
One of the kills that gets me the most is Vanessa's untimely demise, when she tries to come at Michael Myers with a gun, and then he turns the tables on her quickly.
First shot hits the headlight. Second shot hits the hood. Bang. Third shot skips off the roof.
Everyone's apologizing that we died. Like, I'm so sorry you guys died. Like, man, I'd rather die by Michael Myers than anybody else.
It's shocking and effective.
You're always trying to one-up each other, so you know the script will say, and Marcus gets stabbed in the face. Well, that's pretty vague, right? Let's be more specific. Okay, how about we stab him in the mouth and it comes out of the back of his head? No, let's not do that, but how about we do that? And then it evolves. As opposed to just doing a fake head, we did a really cool appliance with like a half blade sticking out, blood tubes, everything. It was a really elaborate makeup. Very carefully. Watch your face. We did a reverse kind of gag shot, parts of it in reverse.
Yay!
So we went back and used a lot of old-fashioned tricks.
When we were filming it, it was almost just for our own sick pleasure and entertainment. Honestly, never intending to put it in the movie. But then when we tested it for an audience, we just heard the screams, and we just thought it was too delicious not to include.
Can we straighten out Shape's wrist?
That's part of the whole fucking problem with fucking angle.
I want to get high and dance.
I was just trying to think of who would be unexpected, surprising.
We're in kind of our own little world. Did someone just go to our house?
Characters that would be fun to watch, so it wasn't just oppressive melancholy.
I got this knife. I got this knife.
They do a zone defense.
Yeah, they zone it up. Field upstairs, downstairs, 2-3 zone.
Little John. Big John. Big John.
Good.
Is everybody okay?
No, it's good.
He went down.
That's fucking terrifying. I'm not gonna look at that. I did it.
We kill Big John. We were just gonna reveal him and find him dead, but we're actually shooting a thing where this Shape's gonna come up and gouge his eyes out and shove his fingers in through his eyes into his brain and kill him, so that's cool.
Michael, you've come home.
I hope we're showing something that's gonna stay in someone's head.
It's got a high body count.
The blood and the guts and the killing.
I always thought Michael Myers was flesh and blood.
This movie is savage. It's bedlam.
The more he kills, the more he transcends into something else.
It was one of the first films I remember watching and feeling very, like, emancipated. Like, wow, mom and dad aren't home, man. This is cool.
That's it. That's where it happened.
This is another layer of this storytelling, of this origin story. They go back and show what happened that night.
Filling in some of the blanks about how our original Halloween kind of differs from the ending of Carpenter's original.
He murdered 3 teenagers down the street. This film goes back to 1978. We see the capture of Michael Myers and how that went down.
In Carpenter's version is obviously he goes off of the balcony and then escapes. Our version, Michael is captured.
There was a moment where Loomis was set to execute Michael on the side of the crime scene, and Hawkins got in the way of that.
It shows the depth of the dive here. This is a deep dive.
The 1978 footage was at first incredibly stressful, but then as we started to see all the puzzle pieces come into place, there were no worries about it whatsoever.
We're in Stage 10 in Wilmington, surrounded by Lambkin Lane.
This is crazy. I've never seen anything like this.
You walk in the set every day and feel a little nostalgic and terrified that you're walking into Michael Myers' house.
Walking on the set of, like, the exact replica of where Michael Myers' house was, it's awesome.
This film is written around the house, and it's written around the history of the house.
Let me see a 32.
It does take a team and discussions and debate about how to go about this. For a while, we were going to rebuild his house in a neighborhood, but then I was just thinking, we're going to be shooting all night, every night in someone's neighborhood. Very aggressive, violent, screaming scenes. I don't think that's going to go over well.
We decided to put real grass and in some case real trees in this place. Because of that, we've got like wildlife in here.
To see the research go in and the attention to detail, it's awesome.
I enjoy even what could be the boring part, which is just copying what already exists. I mean, there's this tree in the original film and it looks completely fake. We hired this awesome sculptor who knew what the tree was and found pictures of it and sculpted this tree to look just like it.
Haddonfield Sheriff's Department, stop right there!
Make it like someone just jumped out of the car and pops up.
It felt pretty good.
We recreated some 1978 cops and made the choice to match exactly to the original movie. The tan pants with the brown stripes, and they have the green satin bomber jackets with the fur. Just a matter of getting a lot more and making the fit right so that the pants had a little bit of a 70s flair to them.
We get to see Donald Pleasance in this film, kind of.
When I knew they were going to bring him back, I was most curious.
Officer Hawkins, did Michael kill again?
Get your energy, get your energy, get your energy.
So we have this guy, Tom Jones, who's like our set construction guy. The second we walked on set, we said, this guy looks like Loomis.
Here we are talking about, do we enlist the latest and greatest computer technologies to bring our character back to life when we've got him standing on the other side of the studio, going through blueprints and readying the set to be built?
That is your eye line. Can we clear the eye line behind there?
Holy shit. That looks just like him.
And then Chris Nelson knocked it out of the park.
My biggest fear was that once the makeup was on, he would look less like Donald Pleasance than when he did beforehand.
Michael, stop!
Louder.
Michael, stop!
As loud as you got.
Michael, stop!
Fans love Dr. Loomis. I love Dr. Loomis. He's the Ahab chasing Michael Myers.
It's funny what people attach to. Dr. Loomis, that quandary is everybody's quandary. You know, do you study him? Do you try to rehabilitate him?
It's him. It's Michael Myers.
Another facet of 1978 is doing the 78 mask.
It's built the same way. It's sculpted and fabricated and poured just like an old-fashioned latex Halloween mask. For 40 years, we've been dissecting this mask. There's hundreds of details that go into recreating it. There's a little air bubble in the corner of the mouth. There's the way the eyes are shaded on the inside but not the outside. There's the way there's dirt on the nose. Swirls of matted hair that point a certain way. If you look, all those swirls are there. Even some people were like, Chris, there's like a piece of hair swirl sticking up there. Could you mat that down? I'm like, oh, no. That has to be there. If it's not there, it's not the 78 shape.
And then Michael Simmons is trying to make the footage look like 1978 footage.
Hopefully you feel like it could be edited into the original movie. I just kind of went for the lighting style. I'm using more hard lights, more direct lights, classic keys, less backlights, and then I'll tweak it on color correction and find a live grain solution.
It feels like Halloween. It feels like it is a missing piece of this story that we hadn't seen before.
He used to stare out the window.
You can tap into the past. You can recreate things from the past.
Maybe he wasn't looking out. Maybe he was looking in. At his reflection. At himself.
Laurie Strode, in my mind, is always the centerpiece of the Halloween franchise.
For Laurie, her journey was complete. She gave it all, her heart, her soul, her blood.
You saw the final girl finally face her fear of 40 years.
But in order to continue the story, she has transferred the passion, the fierceness into her daughter and her granddaughter, with Laurie in the center of it, wondering what the fuck happened.
You and Allison should not have to keep running.
You'll always be with us. Karen and Allison just went through this horrific thing where they lost so many people that they love. And on top of that, there's a certain level of guilt and shame for not believing Laurie from the start.
We all go through this process, but it's really, I just have to always remind myself, it's been like 2 hours. I kept saying to David Gordon Green, like, I've never had to play so many things at once, like, ever. This fear, this loss, grief.
People always like, why do bad things happen to good people? And this is kind of a situation where what do good people do when bad things happen to them?
We fight. We always fight.
It's the same night. Like, my husband is dead, and my mom is dying, and my daughter's now missing, but the guy's still out there.
We shot him in the face, burned him alive.
A lifetime of preparation, and for what?
Karen, she's the voice of reason. She's the audience. She's us. She's practical, trying to navigate a heightened situation.
The three of us all together cannot stop Michael Myers.
We're not equipped. There are authorities who are trained looking for him. You think you're the one that's gonna find him?
The relationships between parents and their offspring, you often see the yin and yang, the butting of heads.
Laurie's turned her daughter and her granddaughter into warriors. They now believe her. They now are on the same path that she is.
A lot of the paranoia that they thought Laurie had is real.
Allison is an amalgamation of like both of those women. If she has that sensitivity and understanding that Karen has, but she has that strength and survivor mentality that Laurie has.
He creeps, he kills, he goes home.
And that's where we're going. You watch her take matters into her own hands and goes after him. She's brave and courageous, and this one real badass.
Gotcha.
Judy and Andi are so good at dialing through those ranges of emotion.
She is putting on a masterclass of acting in this. Michael Myers has haunted this town for 40 years. Tonight we hunt him down.
Andi, I think it was super exciting for her to take up knife and gun and hunt Michael Myers.
She's definitely related to Laurie.
And I think that's what the fans wanted to see after 2018, too. I think they were looking for a torch pass.
I like to think of the Strode women like action heroes, driven, prepared for anything, and they're really tough.
Both these women are fighters, and so I think it kind of engages something in both of them, the strength that was always there.
Another facet of 1978 is doing the 78 mask.
It's built the same way. It's sculpted and fabricated and poured just like an old-fashioned latex Halloween mask. For 40 years, we've been dissecting this mask. There's hundreds of details that go into recreating it. There's a little air bubble in the corner of the mouth. There's the way the eyes are shaded on the inside, but not the outside. There's the way there's dirt on the nose. Swirls of matted hair that point a certain way. If you look, all those swirls are there. Even some people were like, Chris, there's like a piece of hair swirl sticking up there. Could you mat that down? I'm like, oh, no. That has to be there. If it's not there, it's not the 78 shape.
And action. Rolling and watch out. Action.
Hey Jim, over here, bud. Never mind. Let it. Jim, watch that thing.
It's going to be very exciting, and people are going to be shocked, and people are going to be agitated by this movie in a way that I think they're probably not expecting. And that, to me, makes a great sequel. The whole last movie was a study in trauma. What happens to somebody 40 years later? How does that trauma carry? Here you have an entire town of people that has been traumatized, and we're going to meet them in the new movie. Anthony Michael Hall has just come in, and he has the toughest role because he's the one that really charges the whole movie with its mission, which is to gather the people and to go after Michael Myers when he hears what happened to Laurie. Well, that little boy that Laurie walked down the street with, he has grown up, and he's the real sort of centrifuge in the middle of the movie, and he's fantastic, very powerful. One of the things that is deeply explored in this movie is, was it really Laurie Strode? Or was it something else? We think it's Laurie Strode because she was the point of his attachment. She was the fulcrum of his obsession, and everything around her became targets. What this movie explores is that may not be true. That there may be something deeper in him than just an obsession with me. And that's an interesting place to go. It's a maelstrom. It's a cyclone of violence and anger and fear and mob mentality, and it's intense. It's really intense. To all of the people that love these movies, happy Halloween.
We're making these movies for the fans. People have like a real like visceral response to the original Halloween. So I think that like bringing back these characters is really smart, because for all those fans, they're like their old friends. When I read the script and I say, David, like if I give him notes, thoughts, ideas about my specific character, he's like the greatest at that. He cares so much about our characters, and that really that we're happy and that we're excited about what we're doing and that it tracks. He's as much of a part of our cast as we all are. I mean, obviously it should go without saying, but like, on top of acting in this role, he's also doing like stunts and all that stuff too. I mean, he's playing the most iconic role of the franchise, really. There would be nothing without Michael Myers.
Halloween Kills is a great name because Michael Myers eviscerates everybody. It's a level of violence from him that I don't think has ever been seen. And on top of that, it shows the butterfly effect of not just the action of Michael, but the reaction of the people of Haddonfield. And that is making for a very crazy story. You see how many people are actually affected by this legend, and they've been impressed with the story of Michael Myers for 40 years. And now that he's back, they're like, well, there's one of him and however many of us, so let's just go do it. It starts at about 100% and it goes to about 500%. It's so incredibly intense and engaging, and it's a avalanche once it gets going, and it's pretty epic. I think that she steps up and kind of becomes a woman in this one. You watch her kind of take matters into her own hands and say enough is enough. I'm gonna do something here. And she steps up and goes after him. She's brave and courageous, and this one, real badass.
So Cameron Elam is the son of Lonnie Elam, who fans would remember probably from the first movie. So jump 40 years later, there's kind of this crew of people that have been affected by Michael, and that includes Lindsay, who Laurie babysat in the first one, Lonnie, my dad, Tommy Doyle, and Laurie. They kind of have this support group dealing with the trauma from the first encounter with Michael Myers. But so that's kind of, in the beginning of the movie, that's where you find this group, and then they find out that Michael has indeed returned. So that kind of sparks the mob, which goes after him. The mob takes over for better and for worse. I mean, I think that it's cool because a bunch of normal, average people are rising up, you know, normal people in extraordinary circumstances, and they're all banding together to bring down this one evil.
When I think of myself as a little girl, you know, 8 years old, shooting Halloween, I think of just, you know, being on the set and not really getting what we were making. I was having fun, honestly. You know, it was another job I was doing. I remember Jamie Lee being really, really sweet with me and very maternal for such a young girl. I didn't know what I was doing until I saw it. Then I was like, what on God's green earth? You know, if you had asked me years ago, I probably wouldn't have had a good answer of, you know, what is it about Michael Myers that makes him so terrifying? But now as an adult, I can tell you. I mean, in shooting these scenes here as an adult, you know, I would look back over my shoulder and to see that figure and that mask and the body language and the way he moves is absolutely terrifying. And, you know, put that in there with the music and the lighting and the directing, and it's really terrifying. When I think of Jamie, you know, in the original one, she had this sort of like calm strength about her, a quiet strength about her. And, you know, even with, you know, the screaming, him chasing her, you know, she just sort of took charge anyway. So I really can see why people all of these years later just love seeing her in this role and being this strong female character. I love it.
It's sort of like a really wonderful opportunity that he gave me, this sort of hero role, that Tommy's this, you know, 50-something-year-old guy, 51, who now in his middle age is sort of rallying the local community. But it's also rooted in the tragedy of what happened. So he did a great thing along with Danny and Scott teams of sort of connecting, you know, the original film to the current time frame. I think the pace and the pathos and everything that Halloween had was great. I think this really has more, honestly. I think it has a lot more going on. Again, because he's sort of reinvigorated these characters from the original film and reintroduced them. It's also interesting too because it's confined to sort of one night. You know, it's Halloween nights. But there's a lot going on. There's a lot that I think the fans are going to love. I don't want to give anything away, but it's going to be great.
Laurie Strode, in my mind, is always the centerpiece of the Halloween franchise. When we decided to reboot the series, we wanted to make sure that we had something that played to every generation, of every age. And so being able to play through the legacy of Laurie and Karen and Allison and get their differing philosophies and their different ages and cultures that they live in and inhabit was important, just to get new voices in there. In Halloween Kills, the community is all responding to fear and terror in their own way. Some people run and hide, some people step up to the challenge, and Allison is one of the driving forces behind the group that's activated to go and hunt Michael. As a huge fan of John Carpenter's movie, it's just such a great opportunity to personally go back into the Myers house, to recreate the set from 1978 and to expand on the mythology that John and Deborah Hill established. So not only are we revisiting legacy characters from his film, but we're also stepping into a literal recreation of Myers' home and seeing sides of the house that we didn't see before. Jamie Lee is not only the centerpiece character of the franchise as Laurie Strode, but she's also the muse of all of the writers. So as we brainstorm ideas, we talk to her, we keep her very closely involved. I love to have send her early drafts of the script and test scenes with her and see if this is something that she responds to, or where we can go, or do you think you could do this, or should we do that? It's kind of amazing. And we come up with ideas. She'll send me ideas of Laurie's style or a moment, or I'll send her a YouTube clip of some other film as a reference point. And then we talk through it and we think, we want to find new ways to define the character, but also keep a lot of the same signatures.
When David talked to me about what his ideas were for the sequel, he was really interested in really kind of taking a deep dive into the original Halloween and sort of like pulling out characters from the town of Haddonfield and being able to sort of enlarge the scope of kind of who we follow in this story. So characters like Sheriff Brackett, Tommy Doyle, suddenly we just start to kind of dive into these characters and sort of try to connect the dots of like, well, what's happened to them since the last time we saw them. Judy Greer, I've always been a fan of and watched her from afar, and I was really just thrilled when David approached her and she said yes for the film. And Andi's incredible. I feel like Andi really captures a lot of the essence that Jamie brought to the series back in the original Halloween. I think that there's, there's like a charm and a toughness there that is fun to watch. The has already hit the fan when you start the second one. And so it allows things to be much more charged, and you're in this visceral sort of moment where the adrenaline's already going, and it's just about sustaining that and just having it be this onslaught, you know.
David Gordon Green and Danny McBride were always adamant that they wanted to see the people of Haddonfield respond to Michael Myers being out in their town, roaming the streets. I remember David and Danny really wanted to capture the collective sentiment of people seeing him with their own eyes and being faced with the fact that Laurie Strode was actually telling the truth. What you will see in the film is that there is a fervor building amongst the townspeople of Haddonfield, and that fervor just boils up in a super hostile way. Everything is really, really heightened in Halloween Kills. The scares, the pace, from the very, very beginning when you see the Strode home that's on fire, it's a thrill ride from that point on. We first see Laurie Strode escaping from her burning house and riding in the back of a pickup truck with her daughter and granddaughter. And in true Laurie Strode fashion, when she finds out Michael is alive, she is determined to track him down and kill him.
It's a huge change in tone and intensity. It's much more intense, and the tone is definitely ratcheted up. But I think saying that, you know, David's first crack at this was already a ramped up tone and intensity from where we had been with the Halloween franchise. So to say that we're even ratcheting up more is amazing, and to see it happening before my own eyes is even cooler. To be sitting anywhere in front of a Myers house is great, with David Gordon Green behind the camera, Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, and Michael Myers coming after her. I mean, it's always a fulfillment, but with this crew, this team, this cast, it's just been cranked up 10 levels.
Evil dies tonight. Evil dies. Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight. Blooper reel. Woo!
Fine, I'll take care of the trick-or-treaters and you can dance. With Murray. It is a big light in a very narrow lane.
That's it. Let's go. Come on. Fucking, I'm not playing here. Oops, sorry. Can I have another one?
There's a stab wound. She was stabbed.
Was she?
Like a year and a half ago.
She keeps
And
coughing.
here she is. Still looks great after a year and a half of blood loss.
The new diet.
Nice job, dude.
Thanks, man. This is for Laurie. This is for you, Laurie Strode. Laurie, get through 5 pages. One line, I fuck him. Okay.
Ray?
He's dead, Mom. More pain meds.
So I wasn't there to put a bullet in her brain like we should have done.
You said put a bullet in her brain.
Did I say? Yes. Bullet in my wife's brain?
Yes.
Excuse me. Oh, fuck. I need some brakes and some good people. Excuse me. I need some. You knock it out of gear? Fuck. I did again.
Excuse me.
He's not dead.
Hold on, let me find it.
What if you drew like a mouse?
If I drew a mouse, I'd go ear, little whiskers, right here, big fat, and a huge mouse dick.
You ever see Fish Called Wanda when Jamie Lee just got so excited with foreign languages? Just go ahead and talk dirty to her in Latin, like medical terms.
I have American boards that I need to be held accountable to.
Just give her Latin now. Just hit her.
Mary's phone is ringing. That's cool. I love her anyway.
It's my granddaughter wanting to FaceTime me. Turning it off, boss.
Lockdown, here we go. Remember, everybody, keep it light. This is a lighthearted comedy.